Good afternoon here from Easter Road Stadium ahead of Hibs versus Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premiership, a first home league game of the season for David Gray's side, and they welcome the Ayrshire team up here to Leith for what's going to be a very interesting, as always, encounter here. I'm Liam Bryce, joined by Declan Tumblety. Just to have a quick preview of today's game, a bit of reaction to the lineup. David Gray making 3 changes to the team that beat Partizan Belgrade in Serbia on Thursday night. In comes Grant Hanley, most notably for his Hibs debut. Came in as a free agent during the week following the departure of Lewis Miller. He was in the squad on Thursday night, but wasn't needed on the pitch. But David Gray said he's been training all summer, I think, at Norwich under 23s, keeping his fitness up, and he's obviously seen enough to feel comfortable pitching him into the starting lineup today. Also comes in Eli Yuan for a first start for a long time for the Frenchman. He's going to, we imagine, it'll be up front alongside Kieran Bowie. In comes Junior Hoylett as well. Chris Cadden dropping to the bench, and obviously Martin Boyle dropping out for Yuan. So what we believe, Declan, I think it's going to happen today, is probably going to see Josh Mulligan moving into that right wing back role. We know how, from his time at Dundee, quite how versatile he is. He can fill in a number of roles. And that's basically, kind of looking at the team sheet on paper. We could be completely wrong. I have been wrong many times in the past. But yeah, that's basically looking at it. We think Hoylett will go in just behind Yuan and Bowie. McGrath maybe a wee bit deeper, and then Mulligan out on that left-hand side. Hanley, he's come in for Jack Iredale, so it could be a straight swap. Seeing him go into the left of that back three. David Gray has said that he's comfortable with Hanley playing across the three. So I mean, that we'll probably get an idea during the warm-up once the defenders start doing their kind of their pre-match drills. But he could be anywhere on that back three. Hanley, I think that was one of the things that really attracted David Gray wanting to bring him in. So I mean, a few changes, Declan. It's not entirely unexpected after Thursday night's game.
No, definitely. I think a few changes probably wouldn't expect after Thursday. I'm not surprised Boyle's dropped out, especially after. I mean, we don't know what happened with his knee, but it didn't look very pretty at the time.
Yeah.
I think need a rest in some of the midfield positions as well. I think the midfield does look a bit attacking, so we'll need to see what happens a few minutes of the game. But it'll be interesting to see if it is going to be that attacking. Like you're saying, if McGrath's dropping in a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Mulligan out on the right, I think on the face of it looks like that's maybe where he's brought into play originally, just a bit short into the midfield at first.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be brought in to be that wing back, so it'll be interesting to see him start out there because he's only had a couple of cameos out right, really.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think long term, that's where I'd probably expect to see Josh Mulligan. I think because Hibs have signed another midfielder this week, Miguel Chaiwa from BSC Young Boys in Switzerland. So that's going to be another option in there, and there are already plenty of options. So I mean, I think with the departure of Lewis Miller, it's really been just it's been Chris Cadden who's been he's been putting a shift in every game. I know Kanayo Megwa is there as well, back from his loan Partick Thistle last season. I'm sure we'll see him at some point during the season. But I mean, I do feel like quite interested to see Mulligan in that position, to be honest, because I do think he looks like most effective when he's got space to run into.
Yeah.
He's a good carrier of the ball, isn't he? He's a very different type of player to Dylan Levitt, who likes to get, who likes to pick the ball up from the back four, start spraying passes. But Mulligan, he gives you something completely different, doesn't he?
He's quite energetic in that midfield. Good with driving forward. So that's maybe suited out wide right. Take the field back on, get the ball to park.
Yeah, and Grant Hanley going straight into the team. I mean, it seems that on the face of it, I felt like obviously probably a very sensible signing with the experience he's got in England. He's played in the Premier League, he's over 60 caps for Scotland. I think David Gray was he was keen to bring in another sort of, veteran, if you like, because I think so much was made last season about the influence of the likes of Junior Hoylett and Dwight Gale, not just on the pitch, but around the building, if you like, and kind of what they brought and what they did for the younger players. So, I mean, and the fact that Hanley, he's gone straight in. He's only been in the building a few days himself, but we've seen, I think, in the past, David Gray, he won't throw guys in if he's not 100% sure that they're ready to start. So when he must have kept himself in decent condition over the summer, Hanley. I
think you took the words out of my mouth here. Like you said, another Dwight Gale-esque kind of signing where come in, mentor a few of the younger players, even if he's not going to be mentoring centre halves, because no really got the youngest backline, but just a good player to have around the club, good player to that people can learn from.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they'll also be keeping himself fit over the summer. I think it'd be interesting to see him play because he's never played in Scotland before.
No. I think he moved to Blackburn Rovers when he was 16. So this will be his first senior game for a Scottish club. He's been all over down in England, Newcastle, spent a lot of time at Norwich City, latterly at Birmingham City before leaving at the end of his contract. So, and then the amount of games he's played for Scotland as well, he's maybe, with the options that Hibs have got there, quite a, it's been a really settled back three, I think, certainly since the start of pre-season. Ahora, Rocky, Iredale, but as much as there's a balance to be struck between having a settled back three and not asking guys to do too much, because it's a different challenge for Hibs really this season with Thursday, Sunday, and it's a big challenge for a squad to deal with, isn't it?
No, definitely. I think that's why I'm sort of surprised that Lewis Miller went as easily as he did, because he was somebody that could have filled in that role with the Mulligan and Cadden and filled at the back.
Yeah.
So I think I wouldn't be surprised if maybe looking at even bringing one more in, especially with Peter being away now. I don't think Hanley might be the last of it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to rotate and not overwork that. If you're playing a back three, not overwork that very thin back line, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously the other change, eye-catching change on the team sheet is Ellie Ewan back in for his first start. Now, I mean, should have done my research and checked this before we came on, but I think this might be his first start since potentially Tynecastle.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, because that's where he picked up the injury that that sort of troubled him for several months. He's made a few appearances here and there. I think there was because there has been kind of interest in him from other clubs for a long time. There was maybe a kind of expectation coming into this summer that he maybe wasn't going to play that much of a part, that he was probably looking to move on. But I mean, he is a player who's not played a lot of football. And I think, if that is, the kind of long-term ambition for him, he's probably the first thing he really needs to do is just get back playing regular football again. We've seen him in this role in the front two before. We know that he can do it. And it's kind of, he had that, big contribution in the Midtjylland game when he came on. He looked pretty sharp at points in that game for somebody who hadn't played a lot of football. So, I mean, it's an opportunity for him to come back in and just sort of remind everybody what he's capable of, because when he's at the top of his game, he's probably one of the most exciting players in the league.
No, 100%. I think, like you're saying, coming on during that Midtjylland game, he was absolutely fantastic for Rocky's goal. I think if he's, like you're saying, if he might be moving on, transfer, it looks like that. The best thing he can do is get himself back in the shop window. What he done against Midtjylland just there, it kind of reminded everyone what he is capable of. I think if he did want to be away, then he can get himself back in the shop window, appearances like here and there. Remind everyone, and then maybe we can help him make that move, because he'd not be somebody that would leave for cheap.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Building up to kick off here, just over half an hour to go, and it's going to be an interesting game. Plenty of changes in the Hibs team. A chance to look at new signing in Grant Hanley, Josh Mulligan going out to right wing back, we anticipate, and also a chance for Ellie Ewan to come back into the team. So do keep an eye on the website for our usual post-match analysis, and then perhaps another kind of video reaction to the game. That's what I was trying to say there afterwards at full time. I can hardly hear myself think with the noise of Oasis over the tannoy here. But yeah, thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll speak to you after the game. Thank you. Cheers.